Welcome back, everyone. Today we're gonna talk about Genesis 2, verse 12. And the gold of that land is good. There is bdellium and the onyx stone. This verse continues the mystical elaboration on Havilah, the land encircled by the river Pishon, as described in the previous verse. According to the Zohar, this verse is not a geological statement. It is a metaphysical revelation of the hidden spiritual resources that nourish the soul and serve as channels of divine light. The gold, bdellium, and onyx are interpreted as symbols of inner refinement, divine wisdom, and spiritual adornment, each corresponding to sephirotic powers and soul capacities. The first phrase from the verse we have, and the gold of that land is good. This is refined divine consciousness. The Zohar highlights the phrase, the gold is good, with great emphasis. Gold represents the radiance of divine wisdom. But this is not ordinary gold. It is good gold, meaning it has been spiritually refined, free of ego, illuminated by higher light. This good gold is associated with Torah wisdom that purifies, charity that uplifts, kavanah, which is intentionality in sacred actions. This gold shines not in the world below, but in the soul of the righteous. Zohar Bereshit. The spiritual alchemy behind this verse is transforming harshness into beauty. The Zohar teaches that gold, in its unrefined form, may correspond to Geburah, but when refined through Chesed, it becomes good gold. This is sweetened judgment, where severity is transformed into radiance. This mirrors the inner work of the soul, purifying the lower self until it becomes a vessel for divine light. So the good gold signals a successful inner alchemy. The soul has been softened, clarified, and more made radiant. The next phrase we have, there is bdellium, mystical substance of etheric nourishment. Bdellium is rare and mysterious. The Zohar sees it as a symbol of clarity, luminosity, and spiritual dew. It corresponds to the crystalline light that nourished the Israelites in the manna from the book of Numbers 11 verse 7, where manna is described like bdellium. Thus, bdellium represents subtle, hidden nourishment from the upper worlds, the soul's sustenance, not through material means, but through direct spiritual connection. It is the dew from the upper Eden that sparkles in the eyes of the wise. The last phrase we have, and the onyx stone, the power of foundation and boundaries. The onyx stone is not just a gem, it carries powerful symbolism. It is one of the stones on the high priest's ephod, associated with tribal identity, memory, and priestly function. The Zohar relates it to the Sephirah of Yesod, the foundation, the channel through which divine energy flows into the world. The onyx thus represents spiritual grounding, transmission of divine light through purified channels, sacred memory, and covenantal alignment. The fact that onyx and bdellium are found with the good gold indicates a region rich in mystical tools for spiritual development. The Zoharic insight behind this verse is the land of the soul. The Zohar understands Havilah, with its gold, bdellium, and onyx, as representing a state of soul or inner spiritual terrain, when the soul is surrounded by Hesed, in this case Pison's flow, and purified through inner work, it discovers within itself. Good gold represents divine wisdom, the bdellium represents hidden nourishment, and onyx represents strengthened foundation and identity. Thus, the verse is not describing a place out there. It is a map of what lies within us when our soul becomes receptive to Eden's flow. To summarize, Genesis 2 verse 12, in the vision of the Zohar, reveals a spiritual landscape overflowing with inner treasures, good gold, bdellium, and onyx. These are not physical substances, but spiritual archetypes available to the soul that is encircled by the river of Hesed. The good gold is refined divine wisdom, purified by compassion and clarity of purpose. Bdellium is subtle nourishment, a crystalline symbol of mystical dew, sustaining the soul directly from divine light. The onyx stone symbolizes Yesod, the foundation through which sacred energy flows, grounding the soul in spiritual identity and mission. All these gifts are found in the land of Havilah, which the Zohar sees as a metaphor for a soul that is aligned, softened, and illuminated. When you dwell inwardly in Havilah, when you allow the river of divine kindness to surround your being, you will find that your inner landscape holds treasure, not of this world, but of the world that flows from Eden. That's it for today. Thank you very much for your donation. Be blessed, everyone, and I will see you on the next episode.